revives a confidence vote in the House of Commons. It's quite a different story from the one we were seeing at the beginning of the week, isn't it? So the question is, what happens now? When will we be taking another look at the likelihood of an election? We have called on some political insiders. Rob Silver is a lawyer and consultant in Toronto who has worked for some senior Liberals. Brad Lavigne is National Director of the NDP. He is in Ottawa, along with Dimitri Soudas, who's a spokesperson for the Prime Minister's office. Great to have you on, boys. And you know what's interesting? I was giggling about this because your actual physical placement says a lot about today. You know, here we've got the NDP and the Conservatives together. I'm wondering, Brad, Dimitri, you guys want to sit a little bit closer, maybe kiss and make up? Because is that the way things are now in Ottawa? Brad?
Well, you know, today's a good day for getting relief quickly to the unemployed. That's what today is about. We have $1 billion for 190,000 long-tenured employees in every region of this country. Our job, Jack Layton and the Democrats' #1 priority right now is to make sure that we get that EI bill through as quickly, but not, you know, we're not going to be rushing it too fast without doing obviously our clause by clause and having witnesses come to it. But we want to make sure that this is an expedited process so that money gets into the pockets of those hardworking Canadians who find themselves out of work. This is exactly the kind of minority parliament that people voted for. It working. We don't need another election right now. What we need is help for EI, and today was a big day, big step forward to getting us there. So I think it's a good day to get relief to the unemployed. I do want to get back to that relief, but Dimitri Soudas, let me ask you, are you doing the happy dance and the PMO?
Well, you know, Suhana, let's focus for a second here on what actually happened today. The government is continuing to move forward with implementation of its economic action plan. The Prime Minister, since the beginning of this recession, a global recession, has provided decisive leadership. And today we had Michael Ignatieff standing up in the House of Commons, voting against a home renovation tax credit, which helps homeowners, which helps lumber companies, which helps construction workers. We had Michael Ignatieff stand up in the House today and vote against the first home buyers tax credit. I mean, the Liberal Party of Canada and Michael Ignatieff no longer care about the economy, no longer care about battling the recession. They're actually trying to fight the recovery. And the only thing they're telling Canadians is, let's have a fourth election in 5 years. And they should stop that because the Government of Canada is doing good work, and we welcome opposition parties supporting that work that we're doing.
Let me ask Rob Silver what your reaction is to those comments from Dimitri Soudas. And I also want to know, do you dislike the renovation tax credit plan that much?
I'm amazed he can say it with a straight face, Joanna. The tax credit's a red herring. It was going to go through regardless of today's vote, and the Liberals made it clear they would honor it if they formed a government. What today was about was Jack and Jill going up the hill and selling their principles for $1 billion. You know, I tend to agree with the CAW, with Peggy Nash, the NDP party president, with a couple of NDP MPs who have already come out and said today the EI proposal that Stephen Harper has put forward is insufficient. It's crumbs, and it's going to be very interesting what happens to the NDP as we have a break week next week when the members of Parliament from the NDP caucus go back to their ridings and hear from people about whether the EI proposal that Stephen Harper has put forward is sufficient, or whether, as again the NDP party president has said, it's just crumbs and it's window dressing and too little too late, frankly.
Rob, what's wrong with Jack and Jill going up the hill, as you put it, and as your, the leader of the Liberal Party has put it, when we know Canadians don't want an election? You know,
if John Stewart were Canadian, what he would do right now is pull out about 500 clips from the last couple of years of Jack Layton, saying the world's coming to an end if you express confidence in this government, and he'd show what a hypocrite Jack Layton's proven to be today by selling out for what ultimately is crumbs for the unemployed.
You know what, Brad, I have to say, I did interview Jack Layton, and I've interviewed him many times, and I think the last time I spoke to him, he said, we have lost confidence in this government. We have, they've lost, credibility or something that he used. It was some word that he used, saying that, he just didn't like it. He didn't want them in anymore. Now, here you are, you're playing cozy.
Well, there's a lot of exceptions to the what was just said by our Liberal colleague on this panel. First of all, Peggy Nash did not say what you just said, nor did the CAW stand up opposed to what Jack Layton and the Democrats are doing. Ken Luenza, the
wait a
president
second,
of the
wait a second. Ken Luenza was on our program. I just want
Yes,
to set
he
the
was.
record straight because I don't want anybody thinking we're not doing the right thing. Canadian Auto Workers Union said that the measures will leave most unemployed people without benefits. It's just a few crumbs for the jobless. Reading the text.
Well, and I also read the text, and I watch this and other programs very carefully. So, Hannah, the Canadian Auto Workers said that they understand that this will help some workers. And what Peggy Nash has been saying